Hey baes, it's Bailey and welcome back to another speed build. Today we are doing something extra special because, as you know, if you've been on the internet at all in the past few weeks, it is in fact spooky month. So today we're going to be building the house for the mini Let's Play series that I'm doing for spooky month, starring Oscar and Cordelia, the Sims that I made in last week's Kaz video. And this is, in fact, going to be a haunted, spooky haunted house. So to start off, I played a lot with the terrain tools, something I don't usually do, but I've been doing more of since I started doing builds for this channel. Because I wanted to, recreate that idea of, like, the scary house on the hill. And this being the waterfall lot in Henford-on-Bagley in the Bramblewood neighborhood, it is very much of a hill with switchbacks up the wazoo. And I think aesthetically that works, but as you'll see in the gameplay videos coming in the next couple weeks, it's quite impractical for gameplay, especially in a house this small where there's not a lot of room to do some of the paired interactions, especially the paired occult interactions, that they end up having to leave the house and run all the way down that switchback and go and perform their little interactions out off the lot. So just be aware of that if you want to play in this house, but that might not be a big deal for you. So anyway, because I still struggle to build shells and floor plans, I ended up working with a house plan. I will link that in the description, the one that I worked with. I just tried to look for like a Victorian type of plan, and I did end up making some modifications to it, mostly because I couldn't fully tell what it was supposed to look like. And I was also working off my phone, and it just kept glitching out because my phone was a piece of trash. I just got a new one, so I'm very excited about that. But because I didn't follow it exactly, and because real houses and sim houses are not created equal, there are a few architectural choices in this build that are, not great by modern standards. In particular, I had a very hard time getting the stairs to fit. So yeah, there are going to be a couple of strange things going on, but you know what? It's a haunted house. That's part of its spooky appeal, is that it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you can see here, I am really struggling with the stairs. Mostly because I wanted to use this, more octagonal piece as like a witch tower, because one of the Sims is a spellcaster and wants to do stuff with potions, and I didn't want to waste all that space on stairs because I need somewhere to put a big ass fucking cauldron. So yeah, it was definitely a struggle to fit the stairs in that kind of central area across from where the door is. I ended up having to move some of the walls out. And I just kind of did what I could there. It's not the best, but it works in its own way. And because the top floor is narrower than the bottom floor, I wasn't able to square it up with the wall. You see that space in the back there? I had to keep that because I had to. And then, so I didn't know what to do with it, so I just kind of walled it off, and it's just a scary empty space where, I don't know, we hide the bodies or something. So as you can tell, both from what you're seeing and from things that I've said many times, I am not the best builder. I tend to be more of a stylist than a builder. So I really tried to go a little bit more nuts with the styling, since I knew that building isn't really where I was going to get all of the effects that I wanted. So I really wanted to aim for like a full gothic vibe in this house. And I did that a couple of different ways, or two different ways. In the downstairs, I did it more with this darker, more traditional haunted house gothic. And then in the upstairs, in the bedroom and the study, I went for a more like light, perky, Lolita kind of gothic. And the reason I did this is it reminded me of the real life human person that Cordelia is based on. Like me, they tend to play a lot with contrasting styles in terms of how they dress, and that's something that I really like, is playing with hard and soft, light and dark, and just blending together things that shouldn't go together, but you make them go together and they look cool as a result. And I liked the idea of incorporating that into this build, especially with it being a haunted house. I love the idea of just like having a pink bedroom. Like, why not? Why not have a haunted house with a pink bedroom? But even before we get there, there were some choices I had to make. I ended up having only a very small space for the bathroom, so I went with this very like medieval riche, is that even a term, bathtub in the bedroom, because I don't know, I kind of like that vibe, especially with the Get Famous little towel rack hanging out behind it. I just thought it was fun. And then I did have a little bit of trouble just like squeezing everything into the bedroom, because it felt like more of a vibe to put the bed on the diagonal like that. But then unfortunately it meant very little space for other things. But we managed to get everything in. And I think at this point in the build I hadn't turned move objects on, because I try to make sure everything is accessible, especially since I was using this house for a Let's Play. And I wanted to make sure that people could get to it. And I did play test everything. So everything should fit. The way it looks in this build, I think there's like a fern outside or something that like prevents them from walking up and down the path, but I'm pretty sure I removed that before I uploaded it to the gallery. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took care of that. But yeah, you'll find out. If your Sims can't get up and down the path, it's because there's a fern in the way. Just get rid of the fern. This stupid ferns. I should have just used debug ferns, but it takes so long for me to navigate the debug menu that, like, I don't know. Sometimes if I'm looking for one specific thing, it just doesn't feel worth it. I don't. It's that same logic that keeps you from traveling between lots because you have to go through a loading screen. It just feels like it takes forever. So as this part, like, we're just going through and trying to decorate a bit. I tried to limit the number of packs that I used, and tried filtering, at least for decorations. I filtered by pretty much what you would expect for the occult packs: vampires, realm of magic, Strangerville, which isn't technically an occult pack but still has occult vibes to it, and paranormal stuff. So I tried to pull most of my decorations from there. If you do see in this build anything that like uses one item from a pack, usually when I'm going through like saving and uploading it, I will try and look through the packs that are being used, and if I'm only, say, using one thing from a pack and it's just a decorative item, I'll usually try and swap it out, just so that it's easier for people to download if they so choose. Because, like, I'm not going to lose sweat over one decorative item getting swapped out, or if it's, like, an end table that I can use another end table from another pack. It's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm willing to do the work to make those changes for people. Yeah. Also, you can see right now I'm working on this chimney. I still struggle with chimneys, so if you have any tips for making chimneys look better than this one, I'm sure it would not take much to make a chimney look better than this one, but yeah, if you have any advice on that, please let me know. So going through wallpapers now, I think I used mostly paranormal stuff upstairs. And then some white bricks wherever I needed like a tile, and then of course the bricks from the fireplace to match the bricks on the chimney. And then for the outside, I of course ended up going with the vampires bricks. I used the ones with the cornerstones where the cornerstones would show up or where it made sense to have them, and then just use the non-cornerstone ones everywhere else. Because I think we're all in agreement on, like, cornerstones being just a big fat pain in the ass in The Sims 4. Because they never show up where you want them to. And I love in the organic CC pack by Hey Harry and Felix Andre, they have a decorative build item that is the cornerstones, so you can just put the cornerstones wherever you want. Unfortunately, my only problem with that CC is all of the in-game items are so expensive. So your builds end up being ridiculously expensive if you want to use all of the nice things. So I wasn't able to build, like, my cottage base house with that. I didn't really... even if I were using CC for this build, which I did not, I wouldn't have really wanted to use it for a house that I'm doing gameplay in unless I'm playing, like, a rich family. But then again, this isn't a rags to riches thing. I moved them into this house for free because, that's just how we do. So I just had to pause in my narration for a second because I came to the horrifying realization that I'm almost out of storage space on my laptop. And, of course, I'm trying to play games, record videos, and store everything on my laptop. And I clearly am not well equipped to run this channel right now. But I am hoping that within the next few months I'll be able to get the setup that I need. In particular, one thing I need to look for, and that is apparently more urgent now, is I need to look for better storage solutions. I do use Google Drive to back up some of my things, but I don't have a lot of space on there, and I'm already, I think, halfway through using my space, and I've got, like, none of my video backups on there. So if anybody has any good solutions for that, I do have an external hard drive that I can start backing things up to, but clearly I'm going to need more storage space, and I do not have all the money in the world, but I am willing to invest in some. Another thing I'll be looking into soon is upgrading my website so that I can, like, store more photos and things on there once I start getting more into my cosplay stuff. I have a couple of things on Instagram right now, but I do eventually want to do more cosplays and cosplay photography, and of course my dinky little Google site right now will not accommodate that. So if anybody has any tips for websites, let me know. I am looking into Squarespace. I think that might be a good option because I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, they have unlimited storage. I'm not sure though. I would have to double check that. I've also used WordPress for other things, but I find it a little difficult to navigate since I'm not especially tech savvy. I do like how much you're able to customize it, assuming you know what you're doing, which I don't most of the time. So, yeah, it's just food for thought. Maybe someday I'll actually hire someone to do it for me, but right now that's not really something I can do. In the meantime, let's go back to our build. So I'm starting to work on the exterior now, which you all know landscaping is not my first language, but I think it came out pretty well. I'm still definitely struggling with the learning curve that comes with playing with different elevations and not having all of my landscaping items float. I think that's just going to be something that comes with time. But I looked at this and I said, hey, you know what this needs? A pond, because why not? And yeah, I don't even know. This is going to be another like 10-15 minutes of me just going through debug and putting down plants. So I don't know. Yeah. It's weird just sitting here talking to myself while watching myself place plants down. You ever think about how weird that is? About, like, you know, just making YouTube videos in general, how weird it is. We just sit here and we play games and we talk to ourselves. I don't know. It's just like, I mean, I talk to myself all the time, so that's not weird, but I don't know. Just sitting here and trying to come up with what to say. And this is why I probably wouldn't play Sims on stream, because it doesn't feel natural for me to talk constantly. And I don't talk like at all while I'm building. So that's why you haven't seen any live builds. That, and it also takes me goddamn forever. I think this build took me about, well, the footage for this version took me 4 hours. I had built another version before, but it did not come out good. So I just kept the terrain and then just deleted the house. I've had to do that a few times where I'll start building something and it's just like, no, I cannot work with this. This is just beyond repair, and you just gotta demolish it and start over. That's in a lot of areas of my life creatively. Not so much with life, though sometimes. But you know what? Let's not go there today. Let's just keep this chill. We're just trying to have a spooky time in our spooky haunted house. One thing I have found that I do like is changing the time of day to night and seeing how everything lights up, which I do a bit later, but I needed to get all these wonderfully atmospheric trees to sit where they needed to. But yeah, this build definitely looks better at night, because then you also can't see how many of these plants are floating. Oh my god, yeah, I still struggle a lot with landscaping, in case you couldn't tell. But, you know what? I try my best. And with every build, I get a little bit better. And that's all this is. If you're new at building or you're not confident as a builder, just keep practicing. Just watch other simmers. Watch what they do. You'll learn some things. Then you keep working on it yourself. And, you know, someday you'll be as good as your favorite YouTuber. But for me, it is not this day. It is very much not this day. Yeah, you know what I really don't appreciate is how you can't build on the edge of the lot. So if I want to put a fence, I have to go one tile in. And apparently the same thing goes with debug walls. Especially if you're trying to build on elevation. So I had to move the entire lot back one just to put a wall. And I love this debug wall from Cottage Living because it was absolutely perfect. It's like, you know, no notes. This is what I need. And I use the same one in my Finchwick build for my Cottage Baes Let's Play. Yeah, so gotta love it. Cottage Living has some of the best debug items I've seen. Cats and Dogs has a surprising number of good, like, debug rocks and plants, too. You know, I didn't really expect that when I was building my book mill. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. Now, if only we could get things to rotate so they won't float. I know that can be accomplished with the tool mod by Twisted Mexi, and most of the, like, really well-known and highly skilled builders use that mod. I don't, because I don't know if my computer will run it, because it is a piece of trash that now apparently has no storage space left. And B, because I am absolutely terrified of it. I know there's no reason to be. I get that way with everything where I feel inferior, where, like, I'll see someone doing something really cool and be like, oh man, I could never do that. And then sometimes I'll try it and I'll be like, oh, well, this was easy. I guess I can do it. And then other times I'll try it and be like, nope, still can't. Yeah, anybody else like that? Yeah. I don't know. You know, it's It's life. You do your best, you know? And, you know, some days your best isn't the same as it was another day. Some days you're just, you know, exhausted from depression and anxiety and the weight of the 1.5 million things you're trying to do because you're an overachiever and you just, you know, feel like you're a failure if you don't accomplish everything that everyone around you is accomplishing, even though that's a fundamental lie. And you continue to tell yourself these lies until, you know, you find yourself crying on the floor, eating chocolate, and wondering why you're gaining weight. Okay, you know what? This is... we're going a little bit too deep here. Okay, this is a Sims channel. We're building a haunted house, okay? It's spooky month. What are y'all dressing up as for spooky month? Does anybody have a costume? I don't have one yet. I do wear a special outfit in my spooky month videos, and that's fun, and I think I need to wear that outfit some more, or at least do my hair like that. If you haven't seen it in my Kaz video, go ahead and check that out. But otherwise, I don't really have a costume, and I don't really have time to make one, because I'm going out of town soon, and I have school and work, and I have to pre-record all my videos, because I am not bringing my recording setup with me when I go out of town. I will be able to edit out of town, though, so I'm, like, at least setting myself that limit. It's like, okay, we're not gonna record and edit everything before we go. I'll just record things, and then we'll edit while we're there. You know? Gotta set yourself these boundaries, right? Gotta know your limits. Because if you don't respect your limits, that's how you end up burning out quickly and hard. So, you know, this is what I tell you, take care of yourselves at the end of every video I record, and, you know, I mean it. Please, take care of yourselves. You know, it's important. And if you're sitting staring at Sims stone walls and ferns that block your pathing for so many hours that you just hate it and wonder where all of your time has gone, take a break, you know? Just stop, breathe, have some water, get a snack. Most of my problems are, if not solved, at least made easier with food. You know, throw a plant in the corner. That's how building in The Sims works. Just throw a plant in every corner. And yeah, you just take every day one at a time and just do what you can. Because, I don't know, life advice and stuff. I'm still figuring it out, so I don't have any answers, you know? Let's all figure it out together. Okay, baes? I'm sorry this got so heavy. I think I'm gonna go now, just because clearly I don't have anything else to say. I'm just gonna sit here rambling while we watch me place debug plants and try not to make them float. And you know what? See, I can't even come up with words now. Alright, I love you, baes. Please, please take care of yourselves. Have a safe and wonderful spooky month. And you know what? I'm not even going to tell you to do weird YouTube channel stuff, because we've gotten real deep here. And you know what? I care about you. So, oh, god damn it. My honey's phone notification sound is going to be in here. Okay, you know what? Fine, I'm going. Okay. Love you, baes. Bye.